Hello YouTube, I'm here from Blue News Studios and today I'm bringing you episode 2 of my Premiere Pro Beginners Tutorial series. Now if you haven't seen episode 1, I recommend that you go check that out, where I showed you how to make projects and also how to make sequences. So now that we've got that sorted, let's dive into the tutorial, and today what I'm going to be showing you is what all of these different windows within Premiere Pro mean, what they do, and I might get into the tools. We'll see how we go. So hopefully I'll be able to explain it nicely and in a good order. So this is what Premiere Pro should look like when you first open it and haven't done any editing of the workspaces. What a workspace is the arrangement of your windows, so which ones you have open, what size they are, where they are, all those sorts of things. So if we come into the top right, we can see this workspace menu. I'm going to do a whole video on workspace, how to make your own workspaces, edit workspaces, all sorts of things, but basically there are these workspaces that comes with it, then you can make your own. For instance, I made one that I just randomly called OptiEdit, which gives me a full timeline down the bottom if I'm just trimming projects. This is the automatic one that comes with After Effects. I've also made this one, which is another one with a lot of timeline. I've made one for color correction. Actually, I think that this one comes with it. So there's all sorts of different workspaces, and again, I'll be doing a special video for that. It'll probably be about episode 4, I think. Sorry. So let's get into this. Over here we have the project window. Now what the project window allows you to do is it's basically your resource gathering place. So if you have any photos, audio clips, or pictures that you're going to use in your project, they will be in this project window, which will be over here. So you can see that we automatically have our sequence here. We can do all sorts of things. If we, I'll show you more about this later on, but I'm just going to quickly do it to explain. I'm just going to make a new title here. Click OK. I just want to cycle through this quite quickly, just so that I can give you an example. I can say test. Let's just put this in something simple. And then I've just created a title. And so since I created this from within the project, I don't need to add it to my project box, but if I X out of this, you can see here that we have title 01. Now we can double click on this and see it here and edit it, or what we can actually do is drag it into the timeline. So it's the only way to add things to your document, by first putting them into the project box. Okay, so then we also have Resource Central, which is kind of like news and templates and updates and those sorts of things. A lot of the time you won't need to worry about this, but it can also be quite useful. And here we have some good news. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. And so now let's move over here to the source. I'm going to show you more about this in a second when I actually open up the project of a video I did just a few days ago with my Jambox review, which I think I edited quite well. So I'll be able to better explain these when we have a real project. Then we have the effect controls, which allows you to control all of the things about a video, whatever kind of element you have in your timeline, basically. So if you have audio, you can change the volume. If you have video, you can change the size, move it around, do whatever, and you can also use it for added effects. So here we have the audio mixer, where we can change the sound or the volume of the different audio tracks, which are down here. So for instance, most of the time I have audio 1 as my video track, and I might have it here. Occasionally I bump it up a little bit to somewhere around here, and then I'll have my music usually around -15 on audio 2. And then only occasionally do I use audio 3. You can just mix them up however you want. Then we've also got the master control, which we can take down if we want to. Here we've got the metadata, which kind of gives you a variety of different information about files, all of their properties, and quite advanced information in some cases. So I'll go more into this when we open up the project. Now here what we have is the window where we watch our project. We have the play button, the take a frame back, or take a frame forwards. We have some more options here. I'm going to be going into this in my tools video. Then here we have this audio thing, which shows live as you play a video. Now here we have a media browser, which is an easy way to add files actually to the project. So if we come in here, we can just add whatever, browse through our hard drive and add whatever files we want to our project. It's just an easier way. Then here we have info, which allows us to see even more property, and effects. Now effects is quite important for you. It allows you to add all sorts of effects and also transitions, both for video and for audio. So I'll probably go into this more in a later video. We've got audio effects. If we come into our type of audio, you can change the volume, you can do all sorts of really cool things. If we come into video effects, we can do heaps of things here. We can do keying. If we've got green screen, we can distort it. We can do some color correction, some stylizing, perspective, all sorts of awesome things in here. And then what I like to do is use these video transitions. So we can come in here and then into dissolve, and I use cross dissolve, dip to black and dip to white quite a bit. They're probably my most used effects. You can also search for effects here. So if I search for cross, then we're going to get cross dissolve. I can of course finish it off, but you don't really need to, as long as it already comes up. And then we have our history here, which shows the history of all of the different things we've been doing on our project, so that we can undo and take step back. So you can see that we've already had 6 undos. Okay, so that, I think I've done that quite well. So now let's come into File, Open Recent Project, and I'm going to come into my Jawbone Jambox project. So I am going to save changes to this, and then it will just save it off to your hard drive. And now it's going to open up this project. So it may take a second to open, especially depending on your computer speed. I'm on an iMac, which is quite fast. Seems to be freezing at the moment though. Okay, so here we've got it loaded up. You can see that it looks a lot more colourful when you've got the full story. So let's just come to a random spot in the timeline. So now we can see what you're supposed to see. So really, in the project box, I've got my music here, my sequence, and I've got this folder of all my clips. Now what I couldn't explain to you earlier is that if you have a clip name and you double click on it, then it's going to open up in this source window. And this will allow you just to view the clip without actually adding it to your project, and then you can play it back. So you can just play it like this, and then you can actually press I while it's playing to set the in point, and O to set the out point. That means that when you drag it in, it will be the clip between that I and O points, which is very handy, and I actually use that function quite a bit. So then we can just X out of this here, or we can just switch to another panel, but I think that I will close it. So now we've got the effect controls. So what you need to do is click on the clip that you want to add effects to, and then here we have what I was talking about earlier. We have the motion, which allows us, you can see this all live, you can see it getting bigger, we can move it up, well we can move it to the side, we can move it up, we can do whatever we want with the scale and all sorts of things. Of course we can also use the rotation, and we can change the opacity as well. So there's lots of options just that come automatically in the effect controls without you changing anything. Then we've also got time remapping, which is a bit more advanced, and I'll go into that more later. And we've also got audio effects. So again, as I was saying, if we want to add an effect here, if we come into video effects, maybe if we come into color correction, brightness and contrast, we just drag it onto our clip, and then it comes up here and we can edit this. So we can bump the contrast right up or do whatever we want. So that's how that works. Now let's come into the audio mixer. If we just give this a play, I'm going to show you guys basically what it sounds like with the relationship of sound.
I'm going to be giving you my review and my opinion.
So we can change the volume of the music.
It's a nice small and compact speaker that packs big sound.
We can also see it's just frozen on the white because this bit isn't actually rendered, it's just playing as best it can. So then we can turn the overall sound down. So that's what the audio mixer works like. Then if we come into metadata, you need to click on your clip, and then all of this juicy data will come up. So we can see many things about the media start, the times, in point, out point, information about the dimensions of the clip, its audio, what it's been used for, the frame rate, all sorts of things. We've also got the name, and then we can actually change the name in here. So we can call this introduction clip, hit enter, and then it will change in our project bin as well. So I'm just going to undo that, if I can. No, I can't. Okay, let's just try. Oh no, yeah, okay. So now let's just X out of this metadata, or actually we'll switch it back to effect controls. And then here we can see that we've got our video just as I showed you, and down here is the timeline. So we've got our sequence name up here, we've got the time here, and here we've got all of our different clips on our different tracks. So I think I did use video 2 over here. Yeah, so we've got another clip of video which is actually on a different track. So each track is kind of like a layer in Photoshop, if you're familiar with that, which is another Adobe product. Then you've got your audio. So these two are automatically linked. So if you move the video around, it moves the audio, and if you move the audio around, it moves the video. But I'm going to be going into this again. I'm going to be going into all of this a lot more later on. So thanks for watching this video. That's about all I wanted to show you, just explaining all the windows. I hope that this taught you a lot. Please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps me out a huge amount and really supports me. It does take a fair bit of effort to make these videos. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you later.